Welcome to the stream. You can call me Chimes. This is Beeb.
Yep.
We will be taking a look at SSU Shawnee State Bears against the University of Iowa in League of Legends today. I believe we're still in the pick and ban phase at the moment.
Yep, we're in second round of bans.
So what are we looking at right now? The first thing that comes to mind is the Urgot, obviously. Very surprised to see an Urgot. What do you think about that?
Part of me almost wants to say that the Urgot is an attempted counter for Aatrox.
I see.
Because Chase plays a lot of Aatrox, but
we're red side. So
we're red side.
And I'm assuming it's a great pick because you can flex at jungle. I see. Interesting. Okay. So we first picked the Udyr, and then they counter with Misfortune Urgot. And then I'm assuming we took the Rakan away.
If
we're going to pair it with Lucian, that would be... It works.
Lucian is more of a steal character on our part because the other team primarily plays Lucian Melio bot lane.
I see. Okay, so
but the Misfortune pick was like right away. So
absolutely, definitely locking in that bot lane, which is a pattern of this season. Definitely prioritizing that bot lane. Let's get back into these bans. I see a Yumi ban. I respect it.
Quintessential. They took away Turtles Akali.
As well as his Carmen. picked it away for themselves. This is looking to be an exciting one. I do like Shawnee State's comp.
We love the Corky.
I saw a game of it yesterday, and I have quite a bit of confidence in it. I do like the pick. It does mean that we're looking at about a long. SSU should be looking to play a long game. I'd like to think that we have Prio in the bot lane with Rakan Lucian. I do think that should be a good bully lane into Misfortune Karma. And it's assumed that Udyr wins any lane. I can't imagine
Yeah,
that's going to change.
it's it's assumed Udyr wins.
Yes.
Like,
yes. I'd like to see him in between the first and second tower at about 5 minutes. I'd also really like to see some dragon focus here from the Shawnee State University team. Top side will have a lot of prio, so obviously, at least I'd like to think the first set of Void Grubs could be going SSU's way. But I'd like to think that that's just a vision to cancel out University of Iowa's plan to hit all 6, and that we should prioritize dragons in the late game here.
yeah, I'm interested in the Poppy because having been in like the pregame conversation, a lot of jungler names were dropped because I was jungler, fantastic player. Not none of those names were Poppy. I heard about 5 jungler names dropped. So I'd assume that either Poppy is more of an off pick or they have, a specific comp plan in mind. Um,
I suppose that's the interesting thing. I agree. I really like the Poppy pick.
yeah.
I think it's a great pick. It's a worrying pick, in fact.
Yeah.
It's
Especially
great.
against characters like Jarvan.
Yep, it's especially because Porky, sure, he can't get away. Lucian can't get away. Jarvan can't go in. Jarvan can't start. Jarvan can't do what he needs to. And it also is incredibly good against Rakan. I mean,
Yeah,
Rakan is an
with
incredible pick here.
Rakan, Jarvan, Udyr, we have a very aggressive comp going, and Poppy is highly anti-aggression, but the rest of their team isn't.
Agreed.
So if they lose the Poppy, they're in a very bad spot. Um,
I'm wondering.
I'm
where
so
they're going to
curious
play.
about the Urgot.
Yes, no, 100%.
Because they saw the Udyr pick, and I think they assumed it was jungle.
Well, that's why you first pick it, right? Because it can be. If you want to counterpick the Udyr so hard, which I mean that's what kind of makes it weird, right? Udyr has been winning all split in almost every region, and this entire patch Udyr has just been absurd. The problem is, I haven't been able to find a counter. In any game I've watched, he does what he wants, whether he
Yeah.
loses or not in lane.
As a
he
top
does what he
lane
wants.
player, it is so frustrating. And it like even last season Udyr was just nonsense.
Absolutely.
But at
You
least
could see it.
Udyr stuck mostly to jungle. The most passable counter that I kind of landed upon was Vayne.
I was gonna say Vayne, absolutely.
Now that Akshan is starting to take off top lane,
Yep.
that might be feasible, but
I would have loved to see a Vayne pick. I mean,
Vayne, as much as in comp and in casual and in like lower half of elo, Vayne feels like this unstoppable, unbeatable top lane pick. A Vayne pick against any top laner who knows what they're doing
with a Jarvan,
with a Jarvan, it is.
Cataclysm is detrimental.
Vayne is very high risk, high reward.
Absolutely.
Anything top lane that can't take an absolute slap fight from
A Cassante.
a Cassante or an Udyr or an Ornn, if you can't sit there in that slap fight, then you are like playing very high
It
risk.
would certainly be a fleet footwork angle. I
Yeah.
expect, if that were to be the case. However, it's not. Maybe in the future, who knows? We can only pray. Early
Ooh,
aggression here out of
In-
University of Iowa. And
pushing into top jungle,
deep vision.
but
deep vision on the red. So
Poppy has got some has gotten some chunk out of her health.
absolutely, no, without a doubt. Both junglers, in fact, most likely to back. Indeed, yes, both junglers backing. We have wards. No, my apologies. University of Iowa has wards on Shawnee's red, and we were not able to replicate that on the other side. And so, University of Iowa will have a slight advantage, knowing exactly where the Jarvan is or isn't, and where he's starting. He's also being forced to start late, whereas you can see the Poppy was able to start Raptors solo and did not will definitely notice that effect, especially because they will be moving opposite each other. Jarvan is starting in the top side, whilst Poppy is starting bot, and so they should not interact whatsoever for the foreseeable future. Early, absolutely watching the Karma harass in the bottom lane. I do think bottom lane is looking to be incredibly exciting. You have some really good players on both teams in bot lane, and of course, Corky lane. Not expecting to see a ton out of it.
That's the Corky special.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The Corky special at 12. Yeah. Corky special, 15 minutes in, 000, 200 CS.
And another thing I was hearing is that there's a lot of feelings that Udyr is not being picked correctly by some teams, and that I am personally interested to see what Wolf does, Arctic Wolf does in the build path against Urgot, especially because I wonder if they've tried this out in scrims. I wonder if maybe Shawnee was not surprised to see Urgot come through. Maybe this is just something that only surprised us.
Yeah, that's fair, because the thing about Urgot, the thing about any character who isn't, like, a good character, in, like, supposedly, is that League is one of those games where, unlike things like Overwatch where counters are counters, League, you can get away with a lot with a high enough skill level. You can absolutely win just like insanely terrible matchups like say Garen v Kayle.
Absolutely.
You can beat a Kayle as Garen. I've been beat by Garens as Kayle. Like, but it is in all theory it should be just like an unwinnable matchup, but say if you're good enough at like a character like Urgot, who is supposedly a low tier character, some quick trades in bot.
We also see both junglers hovering around mid. You can see they're on the opposite sides, just as predicted earlier. They should be able to trade the little crabbies in the middle. Scuttle. Should be able to trade Scuttle Crab each 1 for 1 there. We can see Shawnee is playing red side. I like Corky red side. I don't think you play him blue. I think that's the only reason we see him here. And I don't think it's a bad pick. We can see a full clear for both junglers. No ganks yet. No presence either. I don't think either has been spotted on a ward yet, which is incredibly. It's tense for all lanes, especially in the mid. Mid lane is very susceptible to Poppy in the early game. However, you can see Silas is trying to.
Silas is very shoved up.
Incredibly aggressive, yes.
Which it might get him a bit of a CS advantage against, a character who relies very heavily on CS, but at the end of the day, he is almost capping himself off from ganks.
Thanks, sir. No, thank you.
Bot lane, we have a serious case of poke that hurts more between poke that is faster.
Absolutely. And it's what makes me. I almost want to question the Recon pick. I do think
Can you hear me? Oh, you don't know? Oh, who knows? I see. I see. Okay, no worries. Well, we can hope for the best now at this point, right? So he's talking, but I can't hear him. Okay. You let me know if it gets any better or any worse. We'll do what we got to. Oh, and don't be surprised if at any point in the broadcast I get incredibly red. I show anxiety like that. All right, anything goes wrong, I'll turn red. Now I'm gonna hold it down. Don't you worry for that. But I wonder. I do. Okay. So we have been communicating and everybody has been heard, but it was just a bit fuzzy. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm squinting. I'm squinting the builds.
Absolutely. Right. No, absolutely. At least we don't have to go over anything that we've already discussed. Okay. We have a support in the mid lane looking to get
attempted gank. Didn't
interesting.
happen.
Didn't have vision there. I do feel like there was a way to play that. It returns. Okay, never mind. We do see a lot of harassment here. Poppy getting grubs in the top side. Now this is something I'm surprised by because we can see the Udyr has a back. Udyr has backed and has come back to lane. He is CS up. The Urgot has not backed, and I really haven't seen the Udyr push a ton of waves. Right, he's not crashing waves, and so it is surprising to see the priority go to Iowa, University of Iowa there for the grubs.
However, I think they're winning this drag fight.
No,
They're just
absolutely.
absolutely winning this
Perfect.
drag fight.
No, that was gorgeous. In fact, obviously we were only able to see from the perspective of Lucian there on AD. Played it perfectly though. Absolutely played it nice and slow. We knew we had the advantage and spaced it very well.
I do understand the mentality a little bit behind the slow Udyr. 'Cause it,
sorry, Silas. They're 3 against 1 here, but just no way to get in. The Silas dodges the Recon E, and there's no way to get in and actually initiate the fight. Incredibly aggressive trading out of the Silas here.
and this Silas is just very fast, very tight mechanically.
His movements have been rather impressive, huh? Without boots, especially, it looks like he's got two tier 2 boots the way he's moving around the lane. And a massive, no, I wouldn't say massive, but the deficit in general of CS between Shawnee State and the University of Iowa right now is on the University of Iowa's side for almost all lanes but top. Which is to be expected. I would expect Udyr to have the CS lead.
We lose Hex Dragon.
Indeed. Which comes off of that fight. We did win the fight in bot lane. Prio mid has become a very important thing. Silas.
Ooh, we're caught on the Poppy.
Oh yeah. Look at this. Who knows? We don't expect anything to happen there. But it's always good to know where each other is.
They're just standing at each other menacingly.
Absolutely. Yeah, gotta threaten each other.
I think there is a kind of mentality here of, especially with Corki, Lucian, Udyr, this is a scaling team.
Oh, without a doubt. Yes.
So I think, especially with Udyr and how powerful he is, that
very unfortunate.
Almost got away.
No, incredibly close. And it is preferable that Karma gets the kill there. So Dungle Bungus only gets an assist there, a quick 150 gold rather than 300.
But I think the kind of idea is to just let Udyr scale, let him essentially keep the Urgot hostage by not demolishing lane, because even if you lose lane as top, once that enemy top laner leaves, you leave.
Yeah, definitely in certain cases. I can absolutely see an instance in which Udyr leaves, and because of the difference in CS, that Urgot feels the need to stay because he could be down. What's that, Mason? Fantastic. Look at us. Now up here.
Cool, great.
That's what I'm good at. No, of course, we're professionals here. Bot lane looking to... Oh, that's right. I saw Lucian with a kill, and I was wondering, he got the kill on Karma during the Dragon fight earlier. You can see the difference in CS, though, is becoming more and more of an issue here. I'm wondering... No, I believe it's a bit too late to do something like the double support item for Rakan, Lucian in the bot
Yeah.
lane. I don't think that's an option anymore. And we also see Rakan. Something's going on with the. I think they want to
Ooh.
deny the grubs here so that University of Iowa does not get the 5 or 6 stack buff. Basically, before Rift Herald spawns, there are these cute little things right here called Void Grubs, and they are definitely fighting for it right now. So we're going to take a break, just a moment.
This Silas chunks so
Ooh,
hard.
oh my. Okay, so the Silas,
Oh.
it looks like the Jarvan unfortunately trapped his own teammate with him in the Cataclysm there, unfortunately.
And then
It was
Poppy
close.
and then Poppy gets to come and clean up.
And I don't the Silas I don't think Silas had to use ult there as well. He did steal the Jarvan ult. He may have used it elsewhere that we may not have seen. Good ult. Oh, nice, nice, very good. Very good
Ooh.
by On AD to get both sums out of the Misfortune there, who is absolutely ahead, and it definitely gives him the ability. Oh, never mind, we have a TP bot by Silas. We could be looking at, in between Tower 1 and Tower 2, a dive on the Lucian. It looks instead like he's going to push that wave, and that is going to stop Lucian from getting that next wave. So we have a TP for a wave of CS. Honestly, for Shawnee, I take that. You get TP, you get both of MF's summoner spells, and I would take that for Shawnee. You definitely have an advantage in the bot lane
Yep.
now.
You still have all 5 tower platings on mid turret, and bot lane is completely in mid.
Indeed, indeed. We're looking at I think this is to. Interesting. Okay. So now they're migrating down to the bot lane. I think they want to continue this pressure. They gave up a little bit of that pressure by having to use both sums to get away from On AD. However, they must think that they most likely they think they have the strength to keep this pressure going and hopefully keep this Lucian even further from getting back into the game. He's about 44 CS down. That's about almost 2 kills worth of gold.
But if they can get the kills, that at this point would be more important than the CS.
And if I'm Shawnee, I'm happy with how the game's going right now. Honestly, where you're 3K down, which isn't preferable, but you're not getting picked off very often, and you scale a lot better than University of Iowa the longer this game goes on.
I think our only character who isn't really a mad scaler, Rakan.
Jarvan as well.
Jarvan.
I would argue Jarvan does fall off, although he's always there for the flag and drags. Cataclysm
Ooh.
never falls off.
Drag fight did not look great.
No, indeed.
The Misfortune ult didn't claim
great,
anybody, but
just great tunneling, right? Like great positioning from both the Silas, who has a massive lead, and the Misfortune. Just great teamwork, corralling all of Shawnee into this tri-bush, and then letting that Misfortune ult go. It was very good.
Udyr gets out.
Udyr gets out. That sounds about right. Urgot, I think, did move for that fight. Was Urgot
Yes,
there?
Urgot was there.
Urgot was there.
Urgot just recalled.
Fantastic. Okay, so it was almost a full-on 5v5. I don't think Shawnee had the vision to really press that Rakan initiate, and so I think it was maybe we have a pick into that's the whole team. It may have been a situation like that. We're looking at 5.5k down, 2 dragons going onto the side of University of Iowa. It's certainly far from over, but we're gonna have to slow it down a little bit. Definitely want to slow down
We've
the
got
game.
the Sunfire built on Poppy.
Oh, yep.
And
Dangerous.
And Urgot has Tiamat, but and I might be wrong here, but considering the especially item positions, I think maybe a gank to get Udyr some kills on this Urgot.
That is an interesting thing that you bring up, because funnily enough, I don't think
And they're on the Rift Herald.
Yep. I don't think either jungler has necessarily been playing towards a side specifically. They haven't been focused on one lane itself, and unfortunately, for the draft that Shawnee State has, you just can't get picked, right? You just have to continue CSing and hope for the best. So we're dropping the Rift Herald down in the mid lane. Let's see how this goes. Misfortune's going to take it and actually run it up top, perhaps? I think that was an error. I don't think she meant to do that. So she got out. She ran it into the wall. It's not going to get its charge off. It is going to take the tower. And after that, they should be able to get back into it.
Corki got some good chunks on Fortune.
This Misfortune ult is going to clear the wave for the Herald to attack, and this is a good they have a lot of pressure here in the mid tower. They can technically keep pushing this. This is strong for them. They're getting the true damage from the from the 3 Void Grubs that they did get earlier.
And top is still an island.
Its top is still an island, yes. Stay hydrated, folks. Do you have water? Do you have something to drink in case you need it?
Not here. Or not in the room.
We'll have to change that.
I'm terrible about bringing water, like, with me places.
We can see dead even CS in the top lane. Dead even.
Top lane special going 0-0-0 and equal CS. That's how you know, that's how you know both top laners know how to play top lane, is when top lane goes neutral.
Well, let's put it this way. If top lane goes neutral, who wins out of it? I don't know how Urgot scales this patch into the late. I have yet to see a single Urgot.
Yeah,
with
the
these
thing
new
about
items.
Urgot with these new items is better than old Urgot. Ooh, nasty engage by the Sylas.
Indeed. I would have liked to have. I do feel as though Shawnee had a chance there, and they did take it. That was a good W by Senpai at the disco there to almost try and get the Sylas, who does have a shutdown, and I can imagine they'd like to kill that player.
But Urgot's main scaling feature is his W. But even then, Urgot is a character who's built to not really decide whether he scales on damage or scales on tankiness.
I suppose, yeah, I am interested to see in the items that he builds, because the Urgot build path should be interesting.
Titanic Hydra.
Yep,
So,
first item. And that was a big back. I don't know if you noticed there. Oh, we are using Corki package in, and it brings out the TP of Sylas. Nope, that is Urgot's TP. Okay. Sylas still has TP in the bot lane, which is that's a big win for University of Iowa there.
Yeah, and Corki and Jarvan got off some big chunks, but it didn't really matter.
How do we feel about the Udyr backing here? Is it essential? Is it important? He has TP.
He does have TP. I would almost have said he was so close to tower that...
Urgot's moving back up here as well.
Yep. So, at that point, having not been missing a bunch of health, having the drag fight, no way to be contested.
Uncontested, yeah. I would have liked to have seen him push another wave, at the very least.
I think that was a missed opportunity for tower, especially with, the Urgot gone, the drag fight, just not happening.
Especially with TP as well. Maybe just perhaps you could build on that advantage. Perhaps Sylas has to come and contest with the tower. You get another TP out of it.
Sylas is moving top lane.
Yes, he is. It's looking like Windows, because Baron starts in 10 seconds. Baron is up in 7 seconds. That is definitely where they're going. They have been uncontested. Well, they had contested that one dragon fight. Other than that, they have no vision whatsoever around any of these objectives, and it makes it really difficult to get a good engage or a good flank in.
We do have some vision on Baron and behind Baron, but
Sylas TP into the mid lane. Cataclysm on the Misfortune. Rakan and Jarvan
goes down. Misfortune goes down.
Fantastic, beautiful on AD. Gets.
The Sylas is simply fed.
Yes, indeed. The Sylas does not want to die. Lichbane as well as Roa, and we can see 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. So not only does he have quite a bit of HP from that Roa, making him rather tanky, as well as the 10 stacks on the Dark Seal and the Lichbane. There's a lot of damage there with the Sylas, and tons of pressure. I mean, just pushing them almost wherever they want. And with a Poppy, you have a Poppy by your side. There's almost no opportunity for re-engage. It gives a lot of power to the University of Iowa here. And now
Karma
this is
canceled a recall for a second.
what was that?
Karma
Karma?
canceled a
Okay.
recall for a second, stayed for reasons unknown.
And then decided to back afterwards. I wonder. Yeah, I do wonder what they saw. Right. So, Cled on Coffee. I do like that name. Let's look. Just clearing out vision. We can see the. When does Dragon spawn? I suppose we don't have the timer on that. Don't know necessarily. Next dragon will be Soul, which is incredibly important. Shawnee is 8K gold down.
Poppy is in the
Oh wow!
thick
Yes,
of
look at
it.
this is an incredible flank. This is an incredible flank. If they okay, all right. I think they'll be happy with simply stealing the red buff away, especially after Baron spawns. Right. So after Baron spawns, after 20 minutes, each buff, red and blue, change. They become a bit tankier. They become a bit more difficult to kill, as well as when you kill it, everybody on your team gets the buff. So stealing that red buff away from Shawnee doesn't only mean the jungler gets it, it means all of the University of Iowa gets it and none
Tower
of Shawnee
dive
does.
on Udyr. Ooh, don't move away from the tower.
Great re-engage. Great re-engage on
Oh,
UD getting a
Udyr
free.
gets popped off.
I'd like to see where this goes. Great flash by the Poppy and a great cleanse by Lucian.
Yep.
Right to respond with it. This is a good fight. I do like
Got
this.
some low on the Silas. That
I would
be
like
great
to see a
if we could
TP,
get him.
Because Urgot is free pushing bot lane, and so we don't get the opportunity for Udyr to TP back into the top lane. This is still
Silas
going.
is going to get executed. That's so funny.
Okay, Lucian actually.
Lucian got the
gets the shutdown
shutdown.
on
That's who you want getting it, for sure.
Absolutely. The question is, did Poppy survive that fight? I believe Poppy survived, and that is still the biggest shutdown. Absolutely. So
Yep.
so Poppy is definitely a target to look out for in these fights. And well played by the Poppy as well to get on AD, got the cleanse out. So well played there.
Removed
a ton of
the
summons.
Udyr from the fight.
Yes, with
but
the ult, right?
At the same time, almost by accident ruined the Urgot's plan to split push by removing Udyr specifically.
Indeed. As well as I do think they could have taken a bit more time to wait for that wave to crash in the top lane before attempting the dive. I think more people were coming for the dive, but didn't arrive in time to act, and so sort of messy on the side of University of Iowa, although it still definitely ends in their favor. Lucian, I'm hopeful for Lucian. Let's see the build path they're going. I see. Okay, so we're not looking at the Energizer build, which we've seen a lot lately. That you see the Nami, the Milio, really increases range, the dash energized attacks, and sort of go in, kill really quick, and get out. But that does make sense with their composition, trying to scale into the late game. These are rather scaling items, at least for now. Kraken, as we know, in the future will no longer be scaling. But for now, as of this patch, I do like
great engage on Corki. They just don't have the damage in comparison
Indeed.
to when these team fights. They just have more health, more damage.
And you can see, you're completely right, that Corki package, surprisingly good. And did not get punished the way I thought it would. He did not have teleport, as well as there were no sort of flanking wards to play off of, but he was able to get that package in and get out unscathed whilst hitting almost all 5 members. That was an incredible play. It just doesn't end up working.
They haven't had the opportunity to scale enough before this, the same way that Iowa has, to be able to win off of engages like
Absolutely.
that.
And well played to the University of Iowa. That is GG. They decided to run that down the bot lane, and it works out for them. I think that was about a 22-minute win. Well played. Very well played. Very clean. Not incredibly clean. I do think that there were
towards the end of the game, I think they kind of had like the a bit of confidence in just knowing how much more like item damage health they had, that they got a little messy in knowing that they could get away with it.
Indeed, the top lane dive was a little messy, absolutely, for sure.
and they almost didn't. But at that point in the game, especially with the Misfortune and the Silas,
Which
there
was a great duo, by the way.
yeah.
Just the two of them alone, the damage was absolutely absurd. What I noticed from the last, I'd say about from 18 minutes onward, just before Baron spawned, and University of Iowa was playing topside, and so was Shawnee. You could see Jarvan was there topside as well as on AD. It was Jarvan got a great re-engage. It just happened to be too late in the game.
Yeah.
Right? It's only 18 minutes in. You're down 7k gold. It's just unfortunate you finally get this good re-engage. You get a good fight, and it just so happened to not turn out. But we at least saw that it's possible. It just happened to be too late in the game. And so I'd like to see, if that is the case in the future, a bit fight back a bit sooner. However, with Corki, there's only so much you can do. Was Baron taken that game?
I don't
think there was a Baron.
I think a Baron fight started.
Indeed,
I don't think the Baron actually got taken.
The top dive, I think, was so messy that they didn't Baron afterwards. I can imagine that was a play for Baron. It was going to be a dive in the top lane into a Baron play, and it was too messy. I don't think they were able to. I also was not paying attention. Urgot may have had TP in the bot lane while he was split pushing. That could have changed things, but they end up winning through the bot lane as well. So I suppose it's for the best. How we doing over there, Mason? Fantastic. All right, fantastic. We're gonna be into pick and ban phases.
Eventually.
For Shawnee State. I'm Chimes. It's Beeb. Yeah, if you'd like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it depends how long they're gonna be.
Because that's the thing, because we need a 5-minute delay, right? Has that already taken into account? Like, we won't have to wait 2 minutes before getting into the pick and bans again, will we? That delay's over. So once pick and ban phase is, we'll be right there in on it, right? Fantastic. Yeah. Indeed. Of course. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And as long as that's the case, you can bring us right back into pick and bans whenever that starts.
I think bleach got on my black pants.
That is not preferable.
No. Pain.
Ooh. Let's take a look at this. Too many arms. That's too many arms.
I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.
Now,
Indeed.
I would have almost liked to see like Rakan Vayne or
I would have liked the Varus as well.
Varus Kai'Sa.
Indeed. You know what? I have yet to see Kai'Sa. Are we back in, Mason? Fantastic. So we're back into
Yone ban.
Oh, absolutely. Why not? So we're in the picking and ban phase. We're seeing a Yone Pike from Shawnee State and Misfortune Maokai.
On AD has a nasty Misfortune.
Does he?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Getting to know a bit more of the lore of these players.
So I think the Misfortune pick last game was intended to be maybe a steal. But Misfortune is so much of one of those like quintessential ADCs that the Yuumi ban. None of these people play Yuumi.
I am interested in what they're worried about with the Yuumi. I don't think I've seen a single lane that's been dominant with Yuumi as a support. This entire
It's like, ooh, Twisted Fate?
Okay, I like that. First pick I don't know how I like first pick Twisted Fate. I think Shawnee State has an incredible opportunity to create an entire team revolving around destroying this Twisted Fate and making sure that
there's
they have
our
no
Karma
chance.
pick.
And I'm assuming that'll be a mid, although they're flexing it for support or even top. Oh, Nocturne pick.
Oh,
Very good
we
into
love
Twisted Fate.
Dustin's Nocturne.
And an incredible pick into Twisted Fate. Ooh.
Xin Zhao on the Xin Zhao main.
Okay, they're getting aggressive. We can see from game one, this pick and ban is already incredibly different.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Camille.
Oh my.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Camille or
You pick a
or-
top laner here, right? You would hate to pick any of your bot lane here.
Cassante.
Yes, Cassante. Makes sense. Very, very smart by University of Iowa, not giving into any clues of their bot lane or their ideas with it. It does, however, give Shawnee State a chance in the secondary bans to ban out, because as you can see in their first bans, no
Udyr.
ADCs, no bot lane bans whatsoever.
We're sticking with the Udyr top. I think Udyr versus Cassante is still a pretty even matchup.
Yeah. I'd like to see Udyr push those waves a bit heavier, try to get that under tower, and bring a bit more pressure top lane, because that's what Udyr's good at.
Blitzcrank ban.
Interesting.
So they are essentially assuming that the Karma is mid, but I think we might be playing Karma support. I'm not going to lie.
It's
LeBlanc.
okay. So they consider this to be a flex as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Karma flexed pick. The flex pick was incredibly helpful. They got a.
There goes the Varus.
Interesting. So the Blitzcrank Varus.
You see,
They have banned now 2 mid laners after the Karma pick. They get, if they want to bring the Karma mid, they get a free bottom pick here.
Because I was thinking with the Blitzcrank ban, if I'm not, I think I might be mixing Karma up with a different caster, but isn't Blitzcrank like extremely detrimental to Karma?
I would argue no.
No.
I would argue
I think
Karma
I'm
is
thinking
pretty
of
good
someone
at
else because as a low elo player, I don't see Karmas.
I see. Caitlyn. Now Karma might be support.
Yeah.
I can see Karma Caitlyn in the bot lane. In that case,
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a caster that gets countered by Blitzcrank.
Bard. Lulu.
Swain.
No, Lulu's pretty. That's bot lane. That's most likely a bot lane Swain.
Yeah, but Swain's support is still one of the
It's incredibly
him
good.
being a support doesn't make him less scary.
Okay, let's take a moment here. Neferi mid. No. Are we looking at an ADTF?
Are we looking at an ADTF?
It has been incredibly strong this patch. ADTF is Q now scales with AD,
But
and
isn't
it's been
ADTF
insane.
still played mid?
Yes. That's a great.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Malzahar.
This
So
has
this
been-
is a Karma support.
Yes,
Yep.
and it is ADTF. Or are we gonna see a switch
is-
up here?
This is a top lane Swain?
All right. Difficult. Yeah, no, difficult to cast or even assume what's about to happen. Yep. No.
Top
this
lane
is,
Swain is a very real thing.
as well as don't forget this is game
The
2.
Cassante mid is the part that confuses
University of Iowa is up a game. We'll get that fixed at the moment. Thank you, Mason, for that.
me. I almost feel like, especially early game, if this is a Cassante mid, then Malzahar has a huge advantage. Early game. Early game.
No,
3-6.
100%. Even at 6. I also like Malzahar into this, as well as Malzahar Nocturne. an incredible combination. A lot of opportunity there.
There will be keyboards unplugged to this game.
Yeah, the only problem is a front line. Now, we're looking at a slightly dive comp, but not really. If anybody has the dive comp, it's University of Iowa.
This is almost, I would almost want to call our comp a pick comp. This is like a
Yeah.
KDA comp.
Well, here, how about this? Do you think the TF may have scared Turtle Strike into not playing his Akali? I actually
Maybe.
like Akali into TF. Even though TF is a
Because-
good counter, I would have liked to have seen him play Akali here, play a bit more aggressive, and show him what they got.
Because the TF not being mid was a jump scare.
Yeah, and the Swain not being bought. I can see Swain Nautilus as a lane. That
Yeah.
working. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Uh,
This is odd.
like still like fully AP Swain, of course, but like still building damage Swain as a like mage ADC, or just like essentially just straight up playing mage in the bot lane isn't unusual.
No, not at all.
For example,
Vigar.
yeah, and also for example,
Karthus.
we played some Swain Senna like that
Incredible combo.
during our games as with Senna as the support instead
Yep.
of the AD.
Yep.
So, Swain Nautilus, I did not even bat an eye at, and like Swain top is still not unusual, but I have never heard of like Cassante mid.
I have seen Cassante mid last season at Worlds. It was played at Worlds, Cassante
Oh!
mid. With
Right,
the LCK.
I
And that's
was
the-
okay. I
yeah.
was half asleep the entirety of Worlds.
No,
It was at like
This was
3 to
3
9 in
a.m.
the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah, no, it was not easy to watch it being live in South Korea. Now, the Malzahar pick, I'm happy with. The more I think about it, the more I'm happy with the Malzahar pick. I need instant prio. I need this to be one of the first Malzahars I've ever seen that roams. Because he should have constant prio in the mid lane.
We have such a massive range advantage in bot
And damage.
and damage. The only thing is that AD Twisted Fate is strong right now, and he is Twisted Fate is a mid laner because he has insane mobility.
Yes.
So having an ADC with that mobility and then having a really tanky support like Nautilus be able to just be left there to hold down the fort, especially when you have a squishier top lane like Swain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think keeping the TF into the bot lane takes away a bit of his mobility. However, it's that I hit level 6 and I back.
Yeah.
And then you don't know where I'm at, right? And so I do think it takes a little bit away from, okay, I'm level 7, I can go anywhere in mid lane. I'm level 8, I can go anywhere before like 15 minutes and everything starts to meld. Whereas in the bot lane, you get a lot less chances to say, I can move
Yeah.
just outside of vision and go anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
So you definitely lose a part of that.
What I was kind of more saying was I can almost see this mentality of essentially building ADTF and then essentially just like ditching Nautilus to hold down the fort.
Yes. Yeah.
And primarily like helping out
Mid.
like mid.
Mid is going to need some help.
Mid is going to need some help with this matchup. Top might
Got
need
some
some
fist
help.
bumps in the mid lane.
Got
I
some
always
fist
like
bumps.
some healthy. Oh, we're gonna leave Nautilus hanging here. And there we go. Oh, okay,
The
okay.
little karma poke.
A little bit rude. I like that. I like some BM real quick.
I am worried about this Xin Zhao on the Xin Zhao main.
And do we know that of Clan on Coffee? Is he notorious or they?
Xin Zhao and Vi.
Jin Zhao Vi.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you feel like the Poppy? I suppose that's why the Poppy was so
Yeah, that
surprising.
the Poppy kind of surprised
Was
me because
incredibly successful.
it was, and it's one of those things if you have to be ready for like really any pick from like very high level junglers, because even I feel like having smaller pools or like kind of character categories within roles is very customary for even like very high level mains in lane.
Absolutely.
For example, a lot of top laners very high elo top laners who really only play tanks. They don't play things like Kayle, Gwen, Quinn. But in jungle, you really have to be ready for them to be able to play any kind of jungler.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. You certainly can't only play Kindred. That's for sure. That's for sure. I do like the Nocturne. Oh wow, we got a hook almost under tower
But
range here.
the trade is essentially won.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Shawnee wins out of that trade due to their range
Advantage.
advantage. Thank you. How do you? I don't think Swain counters Udyr at all.
No, but he also
I don't think he
isn't-
clears waves faster.
Here's the thing, as I don't think they're playing the Swain for the Udyr. I think they're playing the Swain for essentially this kind of like team fight they have going on, because
Which is
Swain
massive.
Swain can be so behind and press R and still become a raid boss.
It's true. It's true. As well as Cassante. I'm worried about.
The especially Nautilus Swain Cassante is such a strong, like, just brick wall.
You know what? I think that plays a lot into the Malzahar and the Nocturne pick as well. I think those are great picks because they both have spell shields. And so even though they have no front line, you have to go through these spell shields in order to initiate a team fight.
Ooh.
And the fact is, Shawnee does not want to team fight here. Shawnee does not want to have a 5v5 almost at any point in this game. They want to look for picks, they want to have objective control, and
Swain was
mobility.
able to push back Udyr with, but the thing, early game Swain definitely has some damage. Early game Swain is scary.
Yeah, it did force him to back, didn't it? Forced Arctic Wolf to back, and he has no TP anymore. Malzahar also had to back and TP as well. So a massive TP advantage for University of Iowa right now. Of course, it's only 4 minutes into the game.
CS, though, it essentially has no deficit right now for anyone.
The bot lane is surprising.
But the bot lane CS is a little surprising, but it's, it's a less than 10 difference.
And after this wave clears, it'll be just under, should be, 32 CS to 36? So I can imagine it's a few missed minions here and there.
Yep.
It happens, especially when you're trading
And they've also,
the way they have been.
yeah, they're getting a lot of trades, they're winning a lot of trades, and also just with the way that TF's attacks work, I think he just is able to catch more stray minions, because,
Every time I watch Cassante play this game, it upsets me. I don't like watching that champion play the game. Great, that was a great
great
cleanse.
peel
Absolutely.
too for the TF, though they're very hungry for his blood.
Indeed, gets the flash out.
First blood on the TF. Can they get the Nautilus though? He has so much health. They will.
It does look like he will be going down, and they get the flash out for it.
I
He
don't
is.
understand the mentality behind the flash.
He's
other
drinking
than panic.
pots. He's drinking pots. He has
But
no
he
help on the
doesn't
way.
really have a great escape.
No, he
plan.
has. Yeah, I do wonder what the
Cassante's
idea
got a grub.
is here. Cassante's
I'm
soloing grubs?
surprised
No, with his jungler. Yep.
how intense we didn't
And they
get
end
the
up
Nautilus.
leaving alone. By the way, just walking their separate ways and saying, "Good fight, sir.
But
Good fight."
I'm surprised how much constant pressure this Swain has. But
Yeah.
when it comes to Udyr and Swain early game, I do think Swain just has such a strong early game, especially in terms of damage. Whereas Udyr scales hard and he scales fast, but he needs to scale first.
An interesting thing to look at is that Cassante obviously builds his damage off of building resistances, right? Resistances, and you can see that Cassante's actually gone for the Bammy Cinder, not MR. Didn't go for boots. Didn't go for MR. Went for armor and health, which is surprising to me. I would have definitely, going against a Malzahar, expected to pick up some MR, and I think the jungler should be watching this, and I do feel like Cassante has been a bit more vulnerable to ganks this game here in the mid lane.
And Swain just has so much poke on something like Udyr.
It seems to be a pick with the Malzahar ult in the mid lane on the Xin Zhao.
Ooh. Xin.
In
Ooh,
okay, never mind. We do get a return kill for the Malzahar onto the end. That was a good flash. Unfortunately, it still picks off his jungler there from the Malzahar. So the Malzahar does get the return kill. Is going to stay for this wave. If he loses this wave, it's bad, but if he dies, it's worse. That's definitely, yeah. So he definitely wanted to stay for the wave, didn't want to lose all that gold and experience, but it just turns out that he overstayed just a little bit.
The team fight was very split. It didn't feel like there was a lot of target priority, and I think that really killed them.
Oh, and Peel as well. You could see the second Clad on Coffee was able to get on AD. He died.
We do get a kill on the TF?
Yeah, incredibly surprising here. I don't think they had enough vision to realize that Karma was there to actually back up her AD, and that's a clean,
there's a bot lane
very
trade.
very clean double kill for on AD there.
Xin is coming.
Oh, yes, he is. Surprisingly so, though. I'd much rather
They
Xin
see
Zhao.
him, they back up, they have vision.
Absolutely. I'd much rather him be doing the dragon right now. Xin Zhao should absolutely be just soloing the dragon. He has priority in mid, and I really don't think Turtle Strike can move. I don't think Turtle Strike can match the Cassante. He's 3-0 because of that fight. He's incredibly strong, and he just came back to lane with Crypt Bloom. That's incredible. That is a very strong Cassante.
We do have just so much range advantage, and we are a very AP team with the Malzahar Karma. Is Udyr AP?
I would argue we haven't seen Udyr back for a second time. We don't know what path he wants to go down.
This Nautilus coming up behind could cause problems. Yep, there he goes.
Incredible. Honestly, just really clean by University of Iowa's support there. Perfect focus. Was not getting lost on the Nocturne.
I'm not sure what the already completely under the tower, what the ult on the Swain was for, unless it was meant to be an ult on the Cassante to prevent a dive.
Yeah. Easy walk up and kill, by the way. Definitely, that was Turtle Strike not respecting the initiation that University of Iowa has, which like we were just talking about, the ranged advantage is what Shawnee has, playing a bit too close to fire there. This could be good.
Does chunks. Swain is raid bossing.
Indeed. Another rather sloppy, not very prioritizing units here on the team fight of Shawnee.
We're getting lots of poke, lots of chunk, but no one's going down.
And you know what? I don't see a lot of focus on the team of University of Iowa either. They just happen to be more tanky. If they get in your face, they'll beat you.
I feel like priority should definitely be Shen, TF. Shen, TF, Cassante, because Swain is going hard, but Swain has a lot of cooldowns. Swain, without his R, is essentially the thing.
Does Cassante ever die this game? Does Cassante
anymore?
ever die?
I'm not sure.
6-0, has a 23 CS lead, and it's only 11 minutes in. It's not looking incredibly promising. Okay, now that is good. I do believe University of Iowa got the first set, and so this will again at least stop that. And there hasn't been a lot of dragon pushing whatsoever. Neither team has taken dragon. I do, like I said earlier, I think Xin Zhao had an opportunity in that bot lane after his bot lane got double killed, but I don't think he wanted to take that risk, and can't blame him.
I would almost want to see. a top and mid lane switch.
I completely agree.
Because
ooh.
Udyr
Ooh, is this mid lane gone? Is mid tower? No, Caitlyn, the bot lane is there to... Yeah, so the Shawnee State bot lane is now mid, looking to gather up a bit more CS and XP for the TF, sending him down... Sorry, for Turtle Strike, sending him down to the side lane to gain up as much as gold and XP as he possibly can. And my only problem is if Cassante comes down here, Turtle Strike can do nothing about it.
TF goes down.
Yes,
that was a great Malzahar art. Ult.
No, I completely understand. It was a great ult. Not only that, but the follow-up by Nocturne, fantastic. A very good prioritization, like we were talking about earlier.
The only reason I say I would like to see a lane switch is just this Swain is such a problem for Udyr because he's able to kind of starve him early game, whereas you would think, you know, like jungle Udyr would not really have a problem fighting a top Swain in a usual situation, but because they're laning against each other. Ooh.
Oh my. So you can see that Turtle Strike opted to sort of try his best to be away from the dive. You would think that in most cases that dive doesn't happen, but Xin Zhao and Cassante are just that fed. They didn't even have a minion wave. They didn't need it.
They didn't need it.
They didn't need it. Cassante walked in with flash and got both kills. They did use TF ult in the bot lane to secure the kill.
I feel like we're really not respecting the speed of the Cassante or the engage potential
Absolutely.
of the Cassante just by himself.
Absolutely.
We're too scared of Nautilus to really be paying attention to the fact that Cassante can just run at you.
I think Prio has so much to do with this. I mean, Turtle Strike with the Malzahar wants mid Prio badly. In this entire laning phase, it's so important that he's moving, maybe not even moving, but giving Breadloaf or the Nocturne here chances to roam against the TF or counter gank, and because the ult from Malzahar along with the ult from Nocturne on that same target is most likely what they're looking for.
Yep.
They're looking to, and that's really helped them.
Nautilus positioned up top.
Oh, a cheeky roam for the
vision.
top lane. Absolutely. The Rift Herald is up.
Yeah, was maybe looking for a gank before Rift, but
Prio
it's
doesn't
Udyr.
need the gank. Yep. They have Prio. They're going to take the Herald. Most likely drop this. Do you think they drop this mid? Top is almost won by the Swain here.
I would say drop it mid.
Ooh, do we see a find here? Yeah. Oh. Ooh. He gets out. He gets out by the skin of his teeth. I would be very happy as the Nocturne to get away there. You definitely do not want to walk into this Cassante.
Life flashing before his eyes.
Incredibly strong. He's got 2 full items at 15 minutes. He does have MR boots, so you're not going to hold him down for long. It's scary. It's scary. This Cassante is very scary.
The Nautilus.
Interesting.
Oh.
Instant dive onto the TF. TF flashes forward to continue this fight, as well as a flash from Turtle Strike to flash and.
I think essentially the mentality here is TF is at this point the weakest link, and they're just trying to use it to feed
the double
on
TP.
AD.
Yep, the double TP. They bring him out
the alting Swain.
A bit too far out of base for Shawnee State University. Chased a bit too far, not respecting the fact that both of the enemy laners have TP. They both go on the same TP at the same time and appear magically together to win that fight. Now this combo right here, the Nautilus and the Cassante, make me feel like I could accomplish any task.
Oh, absolutely.
Add the Zen, and I really don't think Shawnee State can do anything at almost any objective here.
This is such a just absolutely rundown comp. That's why I'm almost... could you imagine if the Swain was a Camille? Could you imagine?
I can imagine Shawnee would be happier. Maybe a bit more prio in the top lane. Maybe Udyr doesn't get shoved as well until Camille has the
Yeah.
Tiamat.
It's the Swain is here because obviously this person is nuts at Swain.
Camille's also better against ranged champions, though, right? I
Camille
can see
could dive
that.
on this Caitlyn, and Caitlyn
Press
is
R, and yeah.
Caitlyn is the biggest problem on our side. Like problem for them. I mean.
Swain was last picked by University of Iowa, was it not?
No, second to last.
Second to last,
but
because
still very late.
But after the Caitlyn.
Yes.
I actually completely see what you're talking about. I think Camille would have been an insane pick there. They pick up the dragon, by the way, uncontested. Uncontested. I mean, we're looking at a 14k gold deficit.
Swain alt on the team.
And TFAD, ADTF, walking around. 2 items.
Bot lane ends up getting split up. They're able to just tower dive.
Good trade by that. Good trade. Good trade. And in fact, the TF disrespected the Nocturne there. If they really wanted to dive there, which they get nothing for it, I don't think it was a good decision to begin with. I would have much rather the whole team be here to help together.
And then diving did just really chunk the support for no reason when they didn't need to.
And killed the AD.
And killed the AD.
Yeah. Don't think he meant to press it on Cassante there. I think Turtle Strike meant to ult the Jhin and accidentally misclicked. So definitely unfortunate.
The speed in the engage is just so nuts.
The amount of dashes and do we see an Ezreal ult coming? Do we see an Ezreal ult on this Cassante, please?
A Senna ult.
Yeah, something. Give me something. Tragedy that gets out by the skin of his teeth. That shutdown, that gold does not go to anybody. Huge shutdowns on both the Jhin and the Cassante here, and they can't find the moment. I do think the Malzahar ultimate was to go on Jhin, and that was a misclick.
Yeah, I think this Cassante could have gone, in theory, just as strong top lane.
Agreed. I don't think Swain would have won as well in the mid lane.
But I would almost with these players, I would have almost loved to see that TF be mid, and see Cassante top, TF mid, Sway Nautilus bot.
I wonder if they're flexing the TF, and I mean that's what brought out the Malzahar, is it not? They sort of, University of Iowa in that sense won the draft, and I did have an idea
and Malzahar is a great pick here.
Yes.
But it's just the Cassante got to scale so early.
That early fight where he got a triple kill.
Ooh, Nautilus goes in. Nautilus goes in.
And Cassante is in the middle of the entire team. We have the Nocturne ult coming out, keeping everybody from being able to see what's happening. Unfortunate. That was a good dive. Good ult by Cassante to finish this up, and this does look to be the end of Game 2 and the series. What I'd like to see more ganks. I don't. We see a lot of skirmishes that were lost. There wasn't a lot of contesting of objectives, but lane ganks. I don't think from either team we saw a single gank in the lane. I would have liked to see that. In either game. Is that there was no real jungle pressure into any of the lanes, and so I definitely think that's something to look forward to for the next series. But that's a series, isn't it?
Yep.
GG's. GG's to University of Iowa.
The gameplay there was very tight. At a certain level, I don't really think Shawnee was really making terrible mistakes. It was just Iowa, especially first game with the Silas.
Yeah.
Is just such mechanically tight play, such just mastery of the champion of Silas.
And the Cassante even furthered that. It just technical play in the mid lane.
Technical play in the mid lane.
Very well.
Technical play in the jungle.
And bot. You can't play Nautilus TF against Caitlyn Karma, come out on top, and not be good. You played the lane well.
And essentially for bot lane, I would almost say that this second game we did win bot lane.
It's debatable. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
debatable. The
it's
CS was down, but
because Caitlyn and Karma were getting so many kills on the
indeed,
TF and
indeed.
Nautilus.
And
But
TF had to roam for a lot of
TF,
the
yeah,
advantages he got.
uh,
They were fun games.
Yeah, they were fun.
They were fun games to watch. I'm happy to be here. My first
Yep.
game's being here. Thank you guys. I mean, anybody who's watching, and thank you, Beeb, for co-casting with me for the first time. That was
Yep.
like super fun.
I like casting.
Well,
It keeps me from just sitting there in the academy row, just like
watching
standing
it.
there.
For Shawnee State University, I'm Chimes. This is Beeb, and
Yep.
thank you so much. And welcome back. Hi, I have SSU Total Strike here again. I'm Chimes, and thanks for sitting down with me after the games. I was obviously I would have preferred for it to go Shawnee's way, but looking at it, let's start in game one. We have the Udyr first pick, do we not?
Yeah.
I got into Bannon phase just after like the third pick, but from what I understand, Udyr was first pick. Are you taking that? Is Udyr priority?
Udyr's just one of the best top laners right now. He literally can't lose lane. Like, he loses lane to Vayne. That's, like, literally about it. Olaf and Darius, Udyr has, like, tech he can do to beat those. But, I mean, it was one of those things that we wanted a strong top side. They took away the karma we wanted. It's one of those things is that this is, like, second seed, like, sixth seed overall. They always end up going to semifinals of CLoL. They're a really strong team. They're 3 Masters, a Challenger. I mean...
It's a good team. I see, yeah.
We're gold, plat, and then 3 diamonds basically. So it's a hard matchup. I think we played too eager. Game one, I mean Udyr's just strong, and then like the other picks we got Karma taken away that first game, which was a little rough. But yeah, no, Udyr's just good.
Indeed, and moving on because I do feel like by I'd say minute 19 to 20 we were seeing some re-engages from the Jarvan that were actually they looked like they could work out if they had happened prior maybe to like the 8k gold difference, but yeah. I definitely we also see Udyr in game 2 against the Swain. Now was their draft as surprising to you as it was for us game 2?
That was a misplay on my behalf. Their guy did have Swain top games. I thought it was Swain mid, Cassante top, which would have been really favored for us. Because Cassante was third. No, Cassante was 4-5. I don't know if I would change the draft at all. I think we just play better because we had the really bad Nocturnal onto Cassante, didn't kill him.
I did notice that.
I thought the re-engage, I thought we could win the re-engage when they were like half health with the Swain. We couldn't. Chase called the back off. We just had 2 big misplays. Because I mean we found pick spot. The Caitlyn Karma kind of got ahead. We got third grubs. We stalled dragon. Like we did stuff fine that second
Yeah.
game. We just had those 2 really bad fights, and Cassante hit 3 tank items, and then all of a sudden we can't kill him.
Yeah, no, I mean, when Casante's 3-0, 4 minutes, was it
Yeah.
5.5 minutes?
He had
it was,
2 items. At
yeah,
12
Crypt
minutes. It was kinda
Bloom.
just
Well, the second I saw him by Crypt Bloom, I said that's going to be dangerous for the rest of the game. But I actually completely agree, and I see where you're coming from. Did that change your Malzahar pick? Is that what you're referring to? Like, cause
I
the
don't think I would have
ADTF
changed. I don't think I would have changed the mouse.
Okay.
I don't really know what I would have picked.
I like the
different.
Malza pick. I actually do see the.
I mean, I think the only thing I would change is maybe Galio, but like I don't really think that changes the problems we had in there.
Mhm.
I mean, I could have taken the Karma, but I also don't really think that changes anything because I thought that Caitlyn Karma worked. I thought that
absolutely,
was fine.
Absolutely.
And
And they were
Corki
playing
was
a good
banned.
lane.
I mean, the only other one I would think of is like a Zir.
Interesting.
That
into
could have
the,
been-
Oh, yeah, into the Cassante. I could see.
Well,
I could see it,
even
yeah.
if I thought, well, if you think he was Swain, I think
Even
his Zir is
Swain.
better. But
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Without a
we
doubt,
just
yeah.
messed up, and also they're just really good.
They're a
so
good team. They're a good team.
you make a slight mistake against a bunch of challenger and master players that like go far. It's just rough.
And so I'm gonna keep this to my last question because I think you guys did play a good game,
Mhm.
and I think there were a lot of qualities in which I said there's something to go there. Like
Yeah.
there's something there. Was it too much disrespect?
I played too antsy. I was too antsy on the calls to make aggro, make plays. I think that was the thing. Like they were just bad calls. Like it's not even like even if it's a different team, those are just bad calls.
Mhm.
It was just I don't know why. Like usually I play more reserved. I don't know why I was just so antsy on just like getting in there and trying to push leads that weren't even necessarily there, and it's just kind of snowballed the game really poorly from there.
Because I'm assuming you were looking for a combo. My apologies, I don't want to.
No, you're good.
But I'm assuming you're looking for a combo of the Malzahar and Nocturne ult.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that
it's
the-
okay. Well, Nocturne's playing counter engage in that time, because basically Mal's Udyr buy space for Caitlyn Karma to do damage to play the range, try to dwindle them down.
Blind them.
I mean, the problem is that I feel like Mal's. That's why I think Azir might have been better, but can't really go back on the picks.
Of course.
I mean, we just play. I called bad fights. I think that was just really what happened game 2. I think it could have been closer because once Cassante hit 3 items, no one could kill him. If he was at like an item and a half, on the one ult I had on TF, I think it would be different. but-
Was that in the bot lane? Was that in bot lane when
no,
you
it
roamed,
would have.
or
I don't know. I can't remember where. But
I
think
understand.
I think it would have. I think it would have been fun.
I think I had asked Beeb. I think we were about 12 minutes in. I looked at the Cassante and I said, "Does he die this game?"
Mm-mm.
And it's difficult because Cassante is so strong. I greatly appreciate you talking with me after the games. It was really fun to cast and watch y'all play, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. What's our ad reads? Do we have ad reads besides Bear Club right now? Bear Club.
Bear Glub
Club.
Club.
Bear Club.
Hi, Bear Club.
That's the sponsorship. All the money goes. You can go and donate to esports. All the money goes to us. Get out of the casting closet. Or at least get
Preferably.
a fan. I will bring up the
That's
fan
actually
for
a
the day I
good
die.
point. All right? And
Yeah.
give me like a whiteboard. All right,
Yeah,
I'd like to
whiteboard.
take some notes
Take
up
some
here.
notes.
Right?
The what? It would. We have a couple. For people to know, we do have stuff written on the wall.
Just to make sure, huh?
Yeah, we have stuff written on the walls. We have the League of Legends gold keys over here. I can't remember why they were there, but yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't hate what happened today. Obviously,
Yeah.
I wish he played better, but honestly, it was just bad callings. Oh, that Silas game was rough. I played so bad. I played really bad, today, but happens.
Absolutely. it
Week
does.
2, we play against Kansas. They're seed 8. We're seed 7. So next week, next Thursday, not
Next
next
Thursday.
week.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so we're talking like 5 days from now.
yeah. It got rescheduled to Thursday, so we're playing on
Hey,
Thursday.
5 days, guys.
We will go on after Smash Bros.
Oh.
Smash Bros starts at 7. Okay, I got the schedule memorized. Rocket League at 7. Overwatch at 7. Break day, because there's nothing on Wednesdays. Thursday is Smash Bros at 7. Once they are done, we will stream League. That's starting at 8. Nothing Friday, and then nothing next Saturday.
Okay.
But that is the schedule for next week.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, guys.
No, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. This was my premiere casting for Shawnee State University. If you like me, don't be afraid. Let them know. All right. Appreciate y'all. And we'll all be back, won't we?
Yeah, we'll be back Monday. 7 o'clock for Rocket League. All right, see you guys then.